So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today to learn more about the Social Impact Leadership Accelerator program. I do want to let everyone know that we are recording this call so that we can share it with you afterwards, and then you can forward it along to other people who might be interested in the program as well. Okay, so quick introductions. My name is Yuki Ueda. I'm the Language and Cultural Programs Director, and I'm one of the managers of the course, and I've helped to write some of the course curriculum. And I've been with VIA for about 3 years and direct some of our programs for Asian students who are studying in the United States. And prior to VIA, I also have some experience in K-12 classroom teaching and education nonprofits. Melissa Golden here in the middle. She's our Director of Operations, and she couldn't be with us today, but she's also very involved in recruiting for our second cohort of the Accelerator.
Hi everyone, I'm the other Melissa Paschak, and I am also one of the managers of the Accelerator program. I've designed some of the course curriculum as well. I've been with VIA for about a year, and I have experience working at universities and also taking groups to Asia for social impact service. So during today's information session, we're going to introduce you to VIA as an organization. I know for some of you, you may be familiar with VIA, but for some of you, VIA might be a new organization. We're going to give you an overview of the Social Impact Leadership Accelerator program. We'll discuss the next steps for applying to the Accelerator and also give you a chance to ask questions. We expect that the presentation portion of today's webinar will not last the full hour. So there should be plenty of time to ask questions at the end, but we'll stick around as long as we need to answer all of your questions. Also, if you have any questions for us during the presentation, you can also always write your question in the chat box and we'll answer your questions at the end. So VIA is a not-for-profit organization, or a non-profit, that was established way back in 1963. Since then, we've been providing experiential learning programs in Asia and in the US, like the Social Impact Leadership Accelerator. We focus on cross-cultural understanding, leadership, and creative problem solving in all of our programs. We believe that a community-based solutions to social issues is important. So rather than us creating solutions for others, we created the Accelerator because we want to help people like you develop solutions that are sustainable and localized to your community's culture and needs.
Okay, so you might be wondering, what is the Accelerator? It is a 5-month program, and it's made up of a community of emerging young leaders across Asia who have an idea for how they want to positively impact their communities. And our Accelerator program is cohort-based. So that means that we accept a group of participants who all start at the same time, and they move through the program together. And we do this so that your cohort feels more like a community and you can help each other move through the program. The leaders work to develop their ideas into sustainable community-based projects that are ready to launch by the end of the program. And the participants receive support and training from the entire Accelerator cohort and VIA staff. And this is actually a picture from one of our recent monthly calls where we shared updates, we asked questions, we give each other feedback. And on this particular call, we were also discussing how each team is going to adjust their project as a result of COVID-19. So to share an example of who might join the Accelerator, this is one of our teams in the current cohort. Their team name is Miracto, and they're focused on creating mentorship connections between high school students and working professionals. So they recognize that in Japan, many high school students, they feel really kind of apathetic and lost about their future, so they lack motivation in college and in their career. So the team hopes to help young people explore different careers when they're still young so that they feel inspired and motivated for their future. So if you're interested in learning more about Miracto's project or any of our other teams' projects, we would like to invite you to attend a series of webinars that we'll be hosting in July, and all of the teams will be sharing about their projects. On this slide, you'll notice that Miracto has identified 2 sustainable development goals that their project hopes to address. So the first one is quality education, and the second one is decent work and economic growth. So these goals were identified by the United Nations, and Miracto has aligned their project with these 2 goals. Okay, so if you're familiar with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, you probably know that there are more than 2. There are actually 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And we wanted to ask everyone on the call today, which of the Sustainable Development Goals is most interesting to you? So if you had a project, maybe you're interested in gender equality, or maybe you're interested in hunger or climate action. So if you could go back to the chat box, we'll give you about 30 seconds and write in at least one of the Sustainable Development Goals that you're interested in. Quality education, reduced inequalities, keep them coming. Nice, gender equality. Yes, good health and well-being. Peace and justice, awesome. Any other takers? Yeah, these are really great. It's great to see, and climate action, awesome. Yeah, so there are a lot of different topics that you're all interested in, and we'd be really interested to see how those all work together, and how you can kind of feed off of each other. Cool. All right, we'll keep going. But if you have other things, you can feel free to put it in the chat. Okay, so let's dive into the specific goals of the accelerator. So the first goal is to help you develop a strong team and learn to communicate effectively both with the other members of your team and community stakeholders. The second goal is to brainstorm ideas that will best serve your community. So you'll do this by conducting research about local needs and resources, and by designing your project alongside external stakeholders. So people outside of your team who are invested in your project. The third goal is to develop your project in a holistic way. So that means considering as many elements as you can. That way you'll design a project that is sustainable and can be improved over time. And the final goal is to synthesize, or to bring everything together so that you can communicate your work to others in our communities. So one of the ways that we do that is by hosting a webinar series during which you share your project with the larger community. And after the course is complete, you'll join our network of alumni so we can stay up to date with your future progress. Okay. So there are a lot of ways that you'll be supported throughout the Accelerator program. The first group that'll support you are VIA staff, so people like Melissa and me. And we're responsible for designing the course content, facilitating the all cohort video calls, and providing feedback on your assignments. You'll also have a group of supporters called your coordinators. And these are young professionals with experience in the social impact sector in both the US and Asia. And they'll provide you with individualized support and help you work through the accelerator activities. They'll also facilitate check-in calls with your team and help you find additional resources you need for your project. And you can reach out to staff or coordinators at any time. And then the other members of the Accelerator cohort are also part of your support network. So you'll provide feedback to each other, you'll share your experience and the knowledge that you've gained, and you can help each other with your projects. Finally, we have an online platform that houses all of our course content. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. And we hope that this platform is also a way for you to build community with other cohort members and VIA staff. Awesome. So you might be wondering what you'll do each month of the Accelerator program. Every month we'll have a live video call with the full cohort to share updates and ask questions related to the project. And you should also expect to do about 3 to 5 hours per week on individual and team assignments. And you'll also have check-in meetings with your coordinators. Now we know that many of our Accelerator participants are full-time students or working full-time. So you can complete the assignments on your own schedule and work together with your team and the coordinators to schedule meetings that are specific to your team. And the monthly all cohort calls are pre-scheduled and the dates and times are already listed on our website. So you should make sure that you can attend those. So let's take a look at what some of the online activities look like. So the course is organized into different content areas. So for example, this first one is called orientation and team building. And each content area has different assignments for you to complete every week. So for example, one assignment is a discussion board for all members of the cohort to engage with each other between our monthly calls. And each content area also includes videos, articles, and other resources to help guide your thinking as you develop your project. And there are different types of interactive activities where you'll be working with your team and members of your community. So for example, you might start by watching a video that shares information about how to design a project plan. And then you'll meet with your team and decide how to develop a stakeholder map. And then you'll conduct a needs assessment by communicating with members of your community. So all of our assignments are designed for flexibility and the intention that you and your team choose the direction that you want to go. And we are here to provide guidance and resources and support. Okay, so what are the requirements for participation? So first, you have to have a team of at least 3 members who are able to meet regularly, either virtually or in person. Right now, probably you'll be meeting virtually. You also have to be able to commit at least 3 hours per week to the Accelerator coursework and join all of our virtual all cohort meetings. Finally, you should be comfortable participating in English, but we have no expectation that you have perfect English, right? We're all coming from a lot of different countries, a lot of different cultures. I don't have perfect English, so we just hope that you'll be able to participate in English, but please do your best. And so here are the next steps in the application process. May 31st is our application deadline. And just a quick reminder that each team member needs to submit an application. So if you have 3 team leaders, we need 3 applications from each of you. And if you want to apply, if you have a really great idea, but you don't have enough team leaders, please let us know. You can always email us and we might be able to connect you with other people in your community who are also interested in applying, but they don't have teammates. And then in early June, we'll have an interview with VIA staff just to get to know a little bit more about your project. And then in mid-June, we'll be notifying the teams that are accepted into the next cohort of the program. Okay, so that was a lot of information. We shared a lot of details about what to expect from the Accelerator program, but really, why should you join a program like this, right? We know how hard it is when there is something you're really passionate about, something that you think is really going to help your community, but you don't want to do it alone and you need support to get it done, right? VIA is really invested in amplifying the strengths of individuals and local communities so that as an interconnected global community, we can address some of the world's most pressing social issues. So we really do hope that you'll join us.